Welcome to Culture Copia, the podcast where we discuss all things pop culture, from the movies and games we loved as a kid to new releases and everything in between, and just about anything else that pops in our heads. Rob, Greg, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Season 2 of Culture Copia Podcast. My name is Robert, and with me is always Matt.
Hello, hello.
Introducing our new friend Greg. He is going to be joining us from now on this endeavor. Drum roll, please. Greg, welcome to the show, dude.
Hello.
Welcome,
Hello,
Grego.
Thanks for having me.
So real quick, guys, we're going to be talking about Barbie. Matt's going to be covering that with movies and TV. Greg is going to be covering Fall Out Boy's version of We Didn't Start the Fire for our music segment. And as always, I am going to be doing gaming and technology. And first up with on that subject is Starfield. So, Greg, man, let's get right into it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Not
Thanks
a problem.
For letting me
join.
Yeah,
Greg's
very
going to be
exciting.
co-hosting. And he's going to be covering music. And one of the things I liked about having Greg on board was he was familiar with the FL Studio and is already kind of in that track, you know. So just
Right.
It was just a natural
huge music
fit.
fan.
Yeah, and a huge music nerd. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is going to be an awesome fit for this show. So first up, Matt.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Barbie. So.
Yeah, I'm a Barbie girl. I don't know if you know that. Have you guys seen Barbie?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen.
No.
I know Rob has.
I did.
Yeah, I was.
Well, and gentlemen, guys, all the guys out there, you are Knuff. Okay, you are.
you are Knuff. Well, okay, and I'll get into it, but so as you mentioned, we're talking about Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, based on Barbie by Mattel, produced by David Heyman, Margot Robbie, Tom Ackerley, and Robbie Brenner. Cinematography by Rodrigo Prieto, edited by Nick Huey, music by Mark Ronson and Andrew Wyatt, starring Margot Robbie, Rob,
Dude, I got a huge crush on her, man.
Ryan Gosling. Greg has a huge crush.
Huge crush on Ryan.
See, our humor is too similar. America Ferrera, Kate McKinnon, Issa Rae, Michael Cera, with Will Ferrell and Helen Mirren. And I have a huge crush on Will Ferrell.
I didn't know he was in that. Awesome.
Yeah, he plays the head of Mattel.
He's kind of, it's in my mind, it was similar to his role in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less like evil and conniving, but still like, he's kind of like that corporate, he was like the head of, like he said, the head of Mattel. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was a newer release, which is kind of what we're doing today. It was released July 21st, 2023, so just over the summer. And arguably, I think the most talked about movie this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by
absolutely.
I know when the summer kind of began, it was all about Barbenheimer and but Oppenheimer honestly kind of fell to the wayside when Barbie hit. I feel like
once people
once
people start seeing it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's to say that Barbie's a better film, but it created a lot more chatter.
I think it's what the world needed. I think it's what society needed. I think they needed women needed that type of movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think men needed it too.
I think they did it too.
Yeah.
You know, we are Knuff.
We're Knuff. Like just do you, man. And you don't have to be. What I took as a man, what I took from that movie was you don't have to be this hot shot executive making a shit ton of money. You just be you. Yeah. That don't try to be something that you're not, especially to try and land a woman. I mean,
exactly.
Right.
Women are not stupid, dude. They see through that bullshit, dude.
I was just having a conversation about this today and yesterday. It was crazy, with my wife. Yeah. It was just so this was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, made with a budget of roughly, it's estimated between 128 and 145 million. So far, worldwide, it's grossed 1.417 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
believe
definitely made its money back.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
over 626 million domestically. Opening weekend, it did 162 million. So, opening weekend made it already. You know what I mean? Like they made their money back on it,
Right.
and they're gonna just keep grossing. I know.
Oh yeah.
So the quickest, like shortest synopsis I've seen in a very long time. Barbie suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence.
Like when
That
like
was
who cannot ever relate to that?
that
The
was
man
that
or
was the
woman?
whole synopsis that I found on I believe it was IMDb. And I was like, you know what? I think that's perfect because you don't want to give away too much of the story, and I know you know because you've watched it.
Yeah.
And that's why, going into this, I kind of thought I was like, I want to talk about it. I do. But I also want people to watch it, and I want them to kind of form their own opinions on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically, I'm not going to really break it down scene by scene or anything like that because it's too recent. What I will say is there, like I said, there's a lot of chatter over this movie. I've heard a lot of positive reviews, but so many negative, and for specific reasons. I think there was a point early in the film where I thought, okay, this could be problematic. Just the way that the story was kind of playing out. But what I quickly realized was everything was kind of satirically turned on its head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I fell into that just like sort of, the typical, mindset of like, oh, is this where they're going with the story? And then I was like, no, what it is, without giving too much away, on the surface, it can look like what they're trying to do with this film is take the patriarchy and show it as like if things were flipped and the feminist point of views and way of life was the norm, and then you have this sort of uprising of the patriarchy as if that were the way we view feminism in our world.
Correct.
And it could kind of look like, okay, well, if that happens, it's still not going to go the way it's supposed to for the Kens because they're men. And I think that's what a lot of people took away from this was like, oh, just because we're men, like, it's this like ultra feminist like point of view. But then,
but can flip that.
But
just because we're women.
yes,
And
then what I then
there
that's
still hasn't been a woman president.
and that's when I came to realize, okay, the way in this Barbie world that the normalized feminist point of view and the way that those people view the patriarchy as like, well, that's still stupid and that's not going to work and you're just men. That is the way, or not even so much that, but the fact that it's like your way of thinking is going to take over. And that is the way that small-minded people view feminism.
Right.
So it was very, very symbolic.
Right, because I was going to say most women don't necessarily want the feminism way to like be what is dominating, like they don't necessarily want the matriarchy to replace the patriarchy.
Exactly.
They just want to be equal.
It's yes.
Like they just want to be like on even ground.
Right. It's not about one taking over the other. It's about equality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you have this story arc of one taking over the other, it can look like, oh, well,
I think a lot of guys' fucking masculinity took a little bit of a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of my friends are like, I thought it was fucking stupid. I'm like, you kind of missed the point on this.
You can't
honest.
You can't have a fragile ego as a man and watch this
absolutely.
film.
No way.
That's just our opinion.
Right.
Like before anybody comes at us, but it's true.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, if you're threatened by women's equality as a man, you're pretty pathetic, man. I mean, come on.
Agreed.
Come on, man.
Look, yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what this all boils down to.
Talking on that, I was watching something on the Ukraine war.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, And they did a story about this woman, and she is like a artillery spotter, a scout. So she like sneaks around like enemy positions and marks and relays the coordinates back to her husband, who fucking loads a cannon and shoots Russians. And I thought that was so cool.
That's badass.
You can imagine Tori, or like, yeah, babe, you better go find me something to shoot. Like I just thought that was so cool.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, she was out. Yeah, anyway, we had a technical glitch, but anyway, she was out marking targets for her husband, and he was shooting her. So I thought a pretty cool story about it. And the reason why I bring that up is because, like, imagine with women and men being on equal grounds, what's possible?
Yeah,
Right.
oh, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
and
that's the only reason.
You speak of like strong women, strong female figures to this cast. Like Margot Robbie's a powerhouse. We know that from her now. So is America Ferrera.
Yeah.
Like, she's been around forever. You think about, like, I remember, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Was she Ugly Betty? She's done a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think so.
A great actress. Like, just so many, I don't know, like, the performances all around. Ryan Gosling was hilarious. Fucking Kate McKinnon and Michael Cera, both. Like I expected nothing less
Kate
from
McKinnon
them.
is weird. Barbie was just that for me was what really made that movie, took it over the top for me.
Her and Michael Cera as Alan.
Yeah.
Like, just so and like when you see people like that, like I remember, like, when I first found out about the movie and I was looking up the cast, and I saw those two, in addition to Will Ferrell and some other people, and I was just like, but dude, like, have I ever seen either one of them in anything where they weren't fucking hilarious?
Yeah.
I just, Will Ferrell, like I said, same thing. Helen Mirren, you want to talk about a strong woman and a empowering female figure. She's the narrator in this. And there's a special cameo in this movie that was actually, she is listed in the credits, but I didn't want to put it on here because if you haven't seen it and you don't know she's going to be in it, she's fucking great. And you know who I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. Rob doesn't remember.
I don't remember.
But I'll leave it at that because just watch it. It was really, I don't know. All around, I was thoroughly impressed with this film. The cinematography.
Yeah. A little technical side note. I heard that they were running out of that pink color paint all over the world. There was a shortage of it because they used so much of it. Yeah.
There were some things. Yeah, they did some cool stuff with like the sets. So in Barbie Land, the quote Barbies, the actresses, everything was scaled to where they were 23% larger than everything. That's why it kind of looks funny when they're sitting in the cars. They look kind of big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is proportionate to
what the world was.
What the dolls,
Barbie sitting in the actual Corvette.
Yeah.
Barbie Corvette.
And all the accessories and the dream house and everything.
because Barbie was always just a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Well, you look at her like in the house.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like if that was a person and you're living in that, that's like almost a tiny house.
Right.
There's like HGTV, like, so.
I mean, her apartment was fat, but it was like, it was kind of small.
Exactly. And, it was really cool that they, kind of incorporated that in there, whether you noticed it or not. And then like now, like maybe somebody saying it, you hear me say it, and then you think about it and you're like, oh, wow, it did. It looked exactly like it was, supposed to. Just things like that. Like I said, the cinematography was amazing. The special effects, with a lot of the scene transitions and things like that. When they're traveling, like over the waves and through the snow and stuff like that. Very, was animated very well.
I thought so too. I thought it was a really good movie for all types, really. I could see fathers taking their daughters to go see that.
Yeah.
Totally, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I know. I talked to several people and they didn't, but I think they kind of missed the point.
Yeah.
Of it.
It's easy to do. Like I said, even me, and my way of thinking and my thought process, and even I was like like I said, at first I was like, this could seem, like a bit problematic, and I was like, I don't know if I agree with like the narrative, but you kind of have to step back and look at it, view it through a different lens.
I think there was a time where I had that too. I was like, I don't fucking agree with that.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, well, okay, hold on.
It kind of starts off like you don't really, and that's brilliant writing.
Yeah, for sure.
That
like,
it really
was done
is.
in a good way. It was done in a
yes,
really good
like for so many people to misinterpret it, you might think like, well, they didn't put enough effort into the story they were trying to tell or the narrative that they were trying to convey. But it's like, no, the fact that you have so many people misinterpreting it is actually a sign of really good writing, because that means like you've really made people think.
Right.
And you've really pushed this, like your story to its full potential.
Right.
It's funny you talk about like, fathers taking their daughters and stuff to see that. There was a bit of trivia that I found to be funny. Ryan Gosling said he accepted the role of Ken after he saw his daughter's Ken doll laying face down in the mud next to a squished lemon.
Okay.
And he said he took a picture of the doll laying, in the mud next to, and he sent it to Greta Gerwig, and he said, I shall be your Ken. His story must be told.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And that kind of, that's what's so funny to me about, the people like that you mentioned that are kind of misinterpreting this and taking it as like, you're just dragging down, you're pushing this like ultra feminist point of view, and you're trying to drag down the men, but it's like, no, man, that is the point. Like all the promos and everything, it's like, Barbie is this, whatever, and he's just Ken.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is a big part of this story is Ken finding out who he is and finding his voice, his identity, and it's, so this is just as much a story for the men as it is for,
that's what I'm saying. Like what I took from it was just, you don't have to be this, there's so much pressure put on men that you have to be a certain, you have to make, I guess you have to make money. You have to be a provider.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But being a provider isn't necessarily monetary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. Yeah.
There's more to providing than just, making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I think.
Yeah. All around this was a story of, learning to accept everyone, whether and knowing that basically anyone, no matter who they are, gender, nationality, religion,
sexuality,
anything, any of that, you have no pre-designated role,
right,
in anyone else's life or in society, and that's kind of what it all boils down to. And it actually ends up being what I thought was just going to be a fun little summer movie.
Right.
Really has you thinking by the end of it,
Yeah. Nice.
So definitely check it out if you haven't. It's at least worth a watch, and to form your own opinions on it. I everything that I'm saying here, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with it, sure, but at least give it a shot. I would highly recommend it.
So Matt, right on for Barbie, I kind of agree with everything that we kind of discussed. I think you and I were on the same level as far as like the understanding and all that. Yeah. So Greg is coming up next with Fall Out Boy's version of We Didn't Start the Fire. Take it away, man.
All right, yes. Fall Out Boy. They did the cover, updated Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire. That came out in '89.
I remember when that song came out.
Yeah. Great song.
Yeah, it's a good
That
song.
covered everything from his birth in 49, I believe it was 49, up until 83.
83. Okay.
83.
Yeah.
So Fall Out Boy picked up from 83 up until pretty much this year.
Yeah, there was some pretty current.
There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happened. I just figured we'd go through the song.
Yeah,
just kind of go over everything.
Yeah.
God, it's so fucking good. I just want
It
to
is
start.
good.
I know not to interrupt
it's a
you,
great song.
but I actually just played it for Amy today, and she was like, I don't know what I was thinking. She's like, I just didn't think it was going to be good. And she's like, I didn't give him enough credit. Like, this is fucking awesome.
Right. It's a great song. Great song. It needed to be updated. And Billy Joel actually liked it. He said it needed to be updated. So he enjoyed that they did it. He thought they did a great job.
I love that.
A lot of people online were kind of hating on it, saying they threw out a lot of stuff but there's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it can't
that
be a
happened.
20-minute song.
I was going to say, you know how long it would be to go over the last 30, 40 years of history? Like,
Right.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, right. So, okay, yeah. Captain Planet. Okay. Cartoon from 90 to 96.
Yeah.
Right?
What an amazing start that was, too.
Right.
I was like, Captain Planet, Earth,
Wind.
fire,
Yes.
wind, water, heart.
Heart, that's what it was.
Great show. Great show. Watch that all the time. Arab Springs. That was just pretty much civil unrest in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
LA riots, Rodney King. That was 92.
Yep.
We know that whole story. That was pretty crazy. Deep fakes. Okay. That was fun.
Why don't you tell us what deepfakes are in case anybody doesn't know?
Oh, where you just pretty much edit a video of whoever, but add a separate audio track to it, so it makes it look like Barack Obama was the famous one, and he's just a complete separate audio file that's not him, just put to his video, his image.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
I think Barack Obama was like the famous one. That's the one that really started to what is this?
There's also a lot of from what I've seen, the most popular deepfakes are typically pornographic in nature.
There was a lot of those.
See, I didn't see that. The most popular I saw were the ones of Tom Cruise.
Oh no, dude! There's a ton of like Scarlett Johansson's or whoever, face edited onto just
A porn star?
Just
Yeah,
a porn. Yeah. Right.
Oh.
My favorite ones were they've been adding Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone to there's the one with Dumb and Dumber.
okay.
But it's
I
like
see
their
that.
faces. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
No, those are great.
Then it goes on earthquakes. I'm pretty sure they're referring to the California
Yeah.
earthquakes and that.
Yeah.
Then Iceland volcano, because that started erupting. Scientists have been watching that. Was dormant for centuries. And now all of a sudden they're getting all these eruptions. Oklahoma City bombing. That was April at 95. Timothy McVeigh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remember that?
Kurt Cobain obviously passed in April of 94. Pokemon.
You know,
1997.
and these people are bitching they didn't include enough.
Yeah, I know.
right, yeah, we got Pokemon.
We're
Right.
3 lines into the
Yeah. Tiger Woods. His whole career. There's a lot of stories there. Being the
Just his
youngest
life in
Masters
general.
winner.
Yeah.
The whole infidelity thing and the car accident that happened. What was that? 2021.
Yeah.
Is when that happened. MySpace. Okay, that was August 2003
Wow.
when that launched. I didn't have a MySpace.
I did.
I never did.
I did, yeah.
But I hear that was a lot funner than Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
MySpace taught me how to code. It really
Really?
did. With the themes and
Yeah.
the backgrounds and stuff. I learned quickly how to I either omit or add certain lines of code to kind of customize my own theme. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing until I took a computer class or something in high school. And I was like,
Yeah.
I already know how to do this shit.
I kind of like MySpace because I can upload music that I was working on.
Yeah.
Like making, the music that I work on.
Right, that's what people said. Like you could have like your theme music when people would go onto your page or what.
If you're listening, we miss you. We miss MySpace.
Then it goes on to Monsanto GMOs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so it's funny that you bring that up because I actually have an uncle who works at Monsanto and was a scientist. And
we talked about this.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I mean, it's based here in St. Louis.
Yeah, and there is a lot of misinformation out there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There really is. Honestly, we already eat GMOs. And you don't even really realize
I was born in the 80s. Yeah, we had the BPA plastic and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, why not be able to? If God didn't, it always comes down to religious reasons for a lot of people. Don't be messing with that things we don't know anything about. That's
right.
Like the big. My opinion, though, is if you base it on a religious belief, that why would God give us an intelligent brain and then to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
But he also gave us free will.
Right. But if you can make a crop that's genetically resistant to drought, genetically resistant to disease, and has a high yield, why would you not do that to help
feed the masses,
to feed people, to help the world? Why would you not do that?
I mean, pretty much just with everything. There's the
world.
Good and there's the bad.
Sure.
And the ugly.
Yeah. Good, the bad, the ugly. But just because, Monsanto, one, they're a huge company, so definitely they're going to get attacked. But because, they are in the food industry, or whatever, and
there's just
you're messing with the food supply.
Right.
So you can see why they get so much heat. But you have to understand all the good that they did too.
Yeah,
just like you're saying, man. Like we'd still be subject to, famine in that if they didn't have the scientists to engineer and pretty much breed these strains of wheat, soybeans, whatever, corn. Yeah.
It's like that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it goes into the chorus. We didn't start the fire.
Right.
Then we go on to Harry Potter.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yep.
Came on to the
Did
scene
we cover
in
Harry
97.
Potter last
did.
season?
We did.
Gosh, check that out.
The first book,
Was it the first book?
Philosopher's Stone.
We covered the first movie. We did talk about the book though. Yeah.
The first movie. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. Then goes on to Twilight. That came out 2008. 4 sequels.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson dies June 25th, 2009.
Yep. I remember exactly where I was when I heard it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. So it was one of those.
I'm
events.
an MJ fan.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure. What one of
would Beat It come on.
Did you know that Eddie Van Halen wrote that guitar solo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And if you listen to it, it really
Oh, you hear it.
Yeah. Now that you know that, listen to it again.
Yeah. Okay, then nuclear accident, Fukushima, Japan. That was the nuclear meltdown at their power plant from the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big earthquake, caused a tsunami, flooded the nuclear plant.
Did Bruce Springsteen mention Chernobyl in his...
Billy Joel?
Yeah, Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy Joel.
I don't think he did, actually.
No?
I don't think he did.
Because wait. You said up to 83?
Up to 83. That was like...
When did
Chernobyl was...
Was it 84?
Maybe. Yeah. And I don't think it was mentioned in this one either. Let's write our own song about Chernobyl.
Okay.
Dude, I'm fascinated with that.
I got something to tell you later.
That is a pretty fascinating story.
We might do a Chernobyl episode.
Let's do it.
Because they're still trying to clean and cover that up.
Yeah. Well, dude...
we should
they just built a few years ago. They just finished it. A huge building,
and then it slides
over.
over.
Yeah, it slid over
the reactors. Yeah.
We should do that because that would be really interesting. I am fascinated with that whole story and how it all went down. Have you watched HBO's Chernobyl?
No,
Oh,
no,
God,
I need to.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah?
It's so
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, and we will do a Chernobyl episode.
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna pop that on the docket.
Because there's so much we could.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Next, the Crimean Peninsula. That's part of this whole Ukraine-Russia.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russia invaded. Yep.
And Ukraine's had it since 91. Cambridge Analytica, 2018. That was pretty much Facebook giving out personal info to political campaigns. That was 2018. Yeah. Trump was involved with that. They apparently sold profiles to political campaigns. Cambridge Analytica. Kim Jong-un, since 2011, he's been the leader of North Korea there.
And that's a fascinating story right there. If you ever looked into that, that motherfucker didn't grow up in North Korea. He grew up in like fucking
Dan Cummins
Sweden.
has a good
Kim
time suck
Jong-un.
Yeah.
about Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, it's really good. We all know Kim Jong Un and Kim Jong Il before him.
Yes, his dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our parents go way back.
Oh no, Hans Briggs.
Not Hans Briggs. Oh, how you doing, Hans? How you doing?
Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, 2008 and 2010. Then 2012 with the Avengers, he played that. Tony Stark.
Redefining, honestly, cinema in general. I know that we're in my wheelhouse now.
Yeah.
You walked me right into it. It really was. I mean, when you think about the way that Marvel Studios changed everything, and how involved that is now, and just God, dude, like
that's a huge franchise.
And that was, at that time, that was his big comeback.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Because that was after the drug charges and things like that. It looked like, okay, this guy's career.
Well, see, Avengers 2, with Iron Man, when that first one came out, I believe he had just got done with Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think that was his best role ever.
Oh yeah, right.
Problematic. But
nobody else could
good
do
nonetheless.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of those, again, like, that brings us back around to the whole misunderstanding satire.
Yeah.
With the problems that people have with him in that role, and the way that they did that movie, they're poking fun at it. I mean, it's the fact that that the other characters in the movie know that it's wrong,
right?
And it's definitely very self-aware.
I'm the dude that's playing a dude that's playing another dude.
Yeah. And it's like, you don't. The explanation's already there. The apology's already there. We don't need to shame and be like, oh, well, they should have never done that. Well, yeah, that's the point. That's the joke. The joke is that it's not a good thing to do.
Right.
And okay, in the movie, he like genetically had his skin altered.
Right.
He had like an operation to do
it. Wasn't just makeup. Yeah. Then, of course, again, we didn't start the fire.
No.
Always burning. Then we got more war in Afghanistan.
Course.
Obviously, Cubs go all the way again.
Yes, they did.
They won it in 2016 against the Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
It was like 100 years before that.
Yeah.
They've won 3 times.
Was that the longest championship drought in MLB history?
It might
Had to have been.
Yeah,
it's got to be close.
Huh.
Man, fuck the Cubs.
Yeah, right.
I like the Cubs.
We got Obama, 44th president, 2009 to 2017. Obviously, that's a big landmark in presidency. Spielberg. I'm assuming that he's just mentioning that because of all the movies that he's done.
Oh, yeah.
He just says Spielberg.
He just says Spielberg. That's all the context you get. Come on,
that's all
Jaws.
you need. What more do you need from
that? We got
that?
Jaws, Indiana Jones, E.T., Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Saving Private Ryan. Yes.
Yeah.
Explosions, Lebanon. That's referring to the Beirut.
Okay, that is
explosion
another
in
story that
2020.
I am really fascinated with, and how that whole thing went down. Because come to find out, it was a shipment of fertilizer that was on a boat that didn't have a license, and then they
Said 2,700 tons.
Yeah, the largest non-nuclear explosion since probably like World War II or something.
Cyprus, the little island, says it's 150 miles away. They heard the blast. 150 miles away.
Yeah, we could do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole, I don't know.
Then we got Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
That
speaking
was
of which,
April 3rd, 1996.
was it Mindhunter? I forget. It's got the guy who was in the guy who was in Avatar, who played the main character. It's not Sam Hunt.
Gosh, I don't remember his name. Mindhunter's the one with Jonathan Groff.
Okay, so yeah, not that one. It's,
Isn't it? Yeah.
No, they followed the story on getting Ted Kaczynski in. It is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he had a doctorate in mathematics.
Yes.
Smart
his big thing was technology taking over everybody's lives, and
so he was like off the grid and everything, right?
So all of his bombs were very simple.
They said they found 40,000 journals, including like bombing experiments and stuff like that.
I could see that. That'd be
He's a
another
smart dude, but
episode to do.
So they go into John Bobbitt.
John Bobbitt.
Bobbitt
is
John.
next.
Bobbitt, comma John.
That was June 1993. We know the story, right?
Everybody knows that story.
Oh yeah.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Lorena Bobbitt. Whenever I think of John Bobbitt, I always think of Weird Al.
And, I think that's all we can sing before we get sued.
Get this. I didn't know this. When she cut it off, she drove away with it in her hand and threw it out the window.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
You didn't know that? That is my favorite part of the story.
That's mine.
I think my favorite part is they went back and found it.
They did find it.
It's like it's a crazy enough story, and then it's just like, I'm gonna take it for a ride.
Yeah, right.
And not in the way that you want to.
No.
How do you like that, little guy? Huh? How do you like that? You want to go for a ride?
That's a whole story. Yeah.
Little guy, he's a good size.
Then we go on to the Boston bombing at the marathon. That was April 2013.
Also, another very interesting story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Balloon Boy, October 2009. You guys remember this? Colorado. A guy sent up a balloon, and then they come to find out they don't know where their kid is.
I remember
He's
that.
up in the balloon.
Yeah, it was a fucking hoax.
It was a hoax because they were interviewing. They were on a morning show, and the kid says, "You guys said we did it for the TV."
Yep.
There's I don't know if you guys have ever watched Community, the show. There's a one-off joke where there's a guy who he keeps buying oversized items on the internet, and he buys this giant kite, and his kid flies away. And it was kind of a nod to that. Yeah.
War on Terror, obviously that.
Yeah.
And then is it QAnon?
QAnon.
Internet conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's fucking dangerous. Right now,
That's very dangerous. Trump impeached twice.
Dose.
December 2019, January 2021. Okay. Polar bears got no ice. Okay, obviously. Firefest from 2017. You guys remember that?
Very crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's
crazy.
Ja Rule was involved in this.
He's out, and he's trying to do another one.
There was talks of a second.
Are they?
Yeah.
There was talks of a second one.
We're gonna have to cover that.
There's two documentaries. One on Hulu, one on Netflix.
They're both really
They're
good.
both good.
I recommend watching first. I think it's the one on
Hulu.
Netflix.
Okay.
I think
It was on Netflix,
I
too.
think I watched that one first and then Hulu because the Netflix one kind of more just showcases the story of what happened, and then the Hulu one, I believe that's one where they actually interview Billy McFarlane.
Yeah.
That one is better to watch second because then you kind of get more into the mindset of him and how all that came about. So definitely I would go Netflix then Hulu.
Okay. Then we got Black Parade. Sure, they're referring to My Chemical Romance.
That's what I got out of it. Yeah.
Huge album. That's their third album, October 2006. Michael Phelps, most decorated Olympic athlete.
And it doesn't affect his breathing.
Yeah. Then Y2K.
Y2K.
That was a fun story.
I remember that. How old were you in that? Because you're right around, you're a little younger than I am. Right?
Well, was born in 85, so I was 15.
So, yeah. I was 18.
I was 10.
Remember, that was huge for like that year. Yeah. And then it's like January 1st, like
nothing happened.
Okay, nothing happened. Back to normal. Yeah. That was great.
If only we had put all that preparation into like 9/11, which would happen a year and a half later.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
You know,
Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of UK.
Oh, that was a disaster.
This is the Brexit.
Brexit, yeah.
Yeah. UK separation from the European Union.
Yep.
That was January 2020. Kanye West and Taylor Swift.
Yep.
At the VMAs.
Just one of the strangest
2009.
rivalries.
That dude's weird.
He's really gone
in celebrity history. The rivalry I never saw coming.
Right. But Matt, you liked All the Single Ladies. Wasn't that the video he was referring to?
I think so. Yeah, it was. Like somehow he managed to get a whole nother artist involved in this weird feud. Yeah. Like Beyonce should have won. What is happening?
Right.
Sit down.
Right. I can't think of Kanye West without ever thinking about the fish sticks.
Come on, motherfucking gay fish.
Yeah. Then we got Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
premiered July
I need to bring that
2015.
back. I'm getting so sick and tired of this fucking writers and actors strike. Yo, Netflix and Sony and Universal and all you fucking people who make these fucking movies, will you please fucking pay these people?
Just pay them.
You know, for reals. Like, come on.
After reading about this, I'm probably going to get into it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, you should totally watch
so
it.
good.
It sounds like it's up my alley.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm a huge fan.
So on that, did you know that 11? I forget her name.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. That's right. Billy Bobby Brown is marrying Bon Jovi's son.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Power
this
couple.
Weekend or some
I didn't know
this
that.
episode. Yep. There was a thing on it that it was like, guess who will not be singing at Billy Bobby Brown's wedding? And I'm like, what? You know, and I'm like,
Who?
her father-in-law.
He will not be singing.
No.
Who
How tacky is that?
Who's gonna say Richie Sambora?
I'd be like, you know, I think that'd be kind of tacky. Like, hey,
Yeah.
father-in-law, sing at my wedding. I wouldn't. You wouldn't want that. You'd be
Right.
like, you're my father-in-law. You need to be
Right.
not working and enjoying your son marrying me.
Right.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, fuck out of here. That was all news. That was huge news. It was like,
Missed
Yeah.
me.
All right, moving on. Tiger King.
yeah.
2020. Oh boy.
Okay, but I think here's the thing with Tiger King and some of those other like Netflix things. That was right when the pandemic hit.
Oh, it was perfect
Yeah.
timing.
So
Perfect timing.
Right.
there was really not a whole lot going on.
Everybody's sitting at home looking for something to do. They capitalized the fuck on
Oh,
that.
yeah, they sure
my
did.
God.
Yeah, they had perfect timing on
Yeah.
that. Ever Given, the Suez Canal. That was
Yeah.
March 2021.
Yeah.
That got stuck in the Suez Canal. Largest container ship. Stuck for 6 days.
Yep.
Okay, then we go into the chorus. We didn't start. Then we get Sandy Hook, December 2012.
And right into Columbine.
Ryan Columbine, that was April of 99. Then they met.
Tragedies.
Yeah. Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra was found hung in her prison cell or jail cell.
Yep.
After a wrongful arrest. Tamir Rice was the 12-year-old that got killed
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
in 2014. Okay, then it goes into ISIS.
Which we all know.
We all know. LeBron James.
Which we all know. Ugh.
Cavaliers, Heat, Lakers. Okay.
Fuck the Lakers.
Shinizu Abe blown away. That was Japan's prime minister, killed in July of 2022.
Yeah.
He was apparently, progressive, trying to build and open up their policies and stuff like that. He was apparently assassinated.
That's crazy.
Meghan Markle married Prince Harry.
Yep.
Yeah. Was on Suits.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Okay, I never watched it either.
Didn't either.
Yeah. George Floyd. That was May of
remember that
2020
story.
up in Minnesota. That was a story there.
Yeah.
Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, the tallest building.
Tallest building in the world in Dubai. 2,722 feet tall. Cool.
Jesus.
Metroid. And I believe that's the video game.
Yes, it is.
From
it is. I can
86.
confirm that. Metroid, correct me if I'm wrong, but Metroid is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samus.
Yes.
Samus, however you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is. I think that surprised a lot of people. Just from when it first came out, and you just see the armored suit, and they're like, "What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's under there? Like this Laura Croftian
Right.
specimen that Yeah.
Then we go into Fermi paradox. That is the lack of conclusive evidence of extraterrestrials. That
Well, it's not really the
it's
lack
highly
of...
likely that their existence is possible.
Yes,
It's like
correct.
the paradox
It's
of it.
Correct. It is. I was getting ready to say it's not that there's no evidence. It's that mathematically there's evidence to suggest. Yeah.
Right,
There
right.
is somewhere.
Some
yeah.
people had issue with them mentioning this because apparently that was like from the 50s. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you guys mention that? So
Well, there's new. I think that
I think
people are
with,
talking about it.
with all the files being declassified and all that coming out. I can see why they would mention that.
Yeah. That's an interesting story. And I mean, still, Tori and I have this conversation a lot. I believe that there's more likely aliens than there are ghosts. Okay, but I still haven't seen evidence, even with those new videos being declassified of those. I still don't see evidence of extraterrestrials.
Yeah, neither do I.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see a body.
I've kind of delved into the whole, you talk about ghosts and like the paranormal, and it's like, has anybody considered the possibility? And I know there's tons of theories out there that like anything that you've seen that's considered paranormal and ghosts and things like that, it's like, what if that is just extraterrestrial?
Right.
Ghosts are extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Like, oh, I saw this thing and it looks like a spirit, and it's kind of, and it's like, yeah, but what if that was actually...
What if the extraterrestrials are making us see ghosts to have an impact on our life, to do something, to do their bidding?
Dude, now you're getting into like the whole South Park, like Earth is just a TV show.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you getting my jag on hard.
Oh.
Okay.
Did we suck each other's snots blast?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we did.
Yeah. Then we get Venus and Serena Williams.
Speaking of getting my jag on hard.
We know their whole story. Very successful tennis players. Michael Jordan, 23.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
What, 15 seasons. Retired in 93.
6 championships. How many MVPs?
Did he really retire in 93?
And then he went on to play baseball.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Okay,
With the White Sox.
It was minor league, right?
Yeah.
Minor
Chicago
league.
Barons?
Barons, yeah.
They were the Barons. Right? That was the minor league club affiliated with the White Sox.
Right,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And then 95, I'm back.
Yeah, he's back, and they get into that too.
And they retired his number 23. Right. But we'll get back to that.
We'll get to that.
YouTube killed MTV.
In a lot of ways, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I think MTV was dead before YouTube.
I'll give you that though, because
as far as like
it was
music
more.
videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I'll give you that. I was getting ready to say that. It's like, yeah, but by 2000, MTV was more shows.
Right.
It was,
and it was like they showed music videos overnight,
right,
like late night.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of disagree with that, I guess. But then SpongeBob.
Man, we all know SpongeBob.
I see. I was a little old for that.
May
Yeah, but you know,
1999.
but everyone knows SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Everybody
And his
knows.
best friend Patrick Star.
Golden State Killer caught. That was former police officer D'Angelo.
Yeah. Okay. So there's
He was
an
arrested
story
in
there.
August 18.
Patton Oswalt's wife, before she died, had a huge impact on that. Did you guys know that story?
Really?
Remember that? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that until you told me that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember him telling that
There's
story.
a documentary on it,
Mhm.
and in the documentary, it covers the story, but it does interview him. And it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Then MJ 45.
Yep, Michael
Because
Jordan.
when he
45.
came back, he donned his baseball number.
Yep.
Okay.
45. Woodstock 99.
Pile
Oh my
of
God.
shit.
I wanted to go to that so bad.
I remember
Okay.
Now we
Rolling
talk,
Stone.
17.
I remember Rolling Stone magazine and seeing the ad, and like you're just going through all the. I'm like,
Yes.
I love every
Every
single one of these.
one,
Like I
yeah.
gotta
Oh
be
my
there.
God.
now we talked about Firefest and the documentaries. Have you watched the documentaries on?
Yes, I'm so glad. I was going to say, I wanted to go to that so bad, and I am so glad.
So glad I did.
Good thing you did not.
My parents never would have let me go either way.
Oh, mine
but,
didn't either.
I wanted to go to that so bad. Glad I did. Keaton, Batman.
Oh, best
Best Batman. Best
Yes.
Batman of all time.
Agreed. Yeah. That was Batman 89 and Batman Returns 92.
God.
Joker and the Penguin. Come on. Penguin, man.
Yep.
Danny DeVito scared the
Yeah.
crap out of me when I was a kid with that character. Then we got Bush v. Gore, 2000.
Oh goodness.
Remember that was the Florida recount one.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Recount?
Yep.
No.
Great movie.
Okay.
Great movie. Definitely check it out. I think that had like Dennis Leary, a bunch of people in it.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it? Is it the Candidate? Is it like
Yeah, that was
Zach Galifianakis?
That was the campaign
The Campaign.
with him and Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
sitting around
funny.
dinner, and they're like,
Very funny.
"Is there anything I should know?" You know, and he's like, "I once stuck a lightning bug up my butt."
I went to the petting zoo and let the goat lick my penis.
And he's like, "Why?
Why?
To see if I could see if my farts would glow."
Then we didn't start the fire. We didn't start. It's always burning. Yes. Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX. You know.
Everything. But who we thought was going to be the real life Tony Stark ended up being
ended
the
up
real
being
life
the-
Justin Hammer.
or the guy from the evil guy from Superman.
Oh, like you mean Lex Luthor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of like
In a way, yeah. I never
Yeah.
thought about that.
Kaepernick,
Mm-hmm.
6 seasons with the 49ers. 2016 when he sat during the national anthem.
Yep. Taking a knee.
Taking a knee.
Yeah.
Texas failed electric grid. I'm sure they're referring to.
It happened
This
in
recent
2020, 2021.
It was 2021, the winter.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good winter.
Yeah, they had a real bad
Storms.
winter. And the
Yep.
problem with it is they're the only state that had their electric system privatized. So
Right.
when you privatize something that it's like a public work like that,
Right.
you're putting profits before service. And so,
Well, the same thing kind of happened out in California with Enron.
correct.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, and at the time, Ford, I was working at Ford dealership, and there were videos of the guys being able to run like a refrigerator, a heater off their truck because the new trucks have generators and stuff. So all you gotta do is keep gassing the fucking car in the truck, and it got them by. So
Right.
it's kind of a cool story.
Right. Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Oh, okay. Now he's like Lex Luthor. He's like the epitome Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He looks like Lex Luthor. Like they should go back and redo the movies and put like AI his face.
Yeah.
A deep fake,
As,
deep
as,
if you will.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, we've come all the way back to the beginning.
as I just received 2 packages today. So
Then we go into climate change,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. White rhino goes extinct. That was May 2018. The last male died.
Very sad.
Apparently, there's still two females left.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's it. Yeah,
That's it.
They're done. That's very sad,
I
man.
hate to see things like that. We're all the three of us are avid animal lovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a hard one.
Right.
Yeah, they cover a lot of tough things in this song. That's not the worst, but that's hard.
Yeah. Great Pacific Garbage Patch, 1.6 million square kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you do the conversion there.
This is America.
2 times the state of Texas. How about that?
Yeah.
That's just that's pathetic to me.
Yeah, again, very, very sad.
Yeah. Tom DeLonge in Aliens. Heck yeah.
Does everybody know about that? Like that he he quit Blink 182 to like be a UFO hunter.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge. That's why they had Matt. I can't remember his name. The new when they released their last couple albums, he wasn't. Tom DeLonge's not with them anymore. And I think they just announced that they just announced that they're working together. But he quit Blink 182 to be a UFO hunter.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, because he's just an alien buff or alien fanatic.
I do have to say, I love that made it into this song.
Right. Yeah. Mars rover. Mm-hmm. There's 3 of them. Curiosity, I think, is the big one.
Yeah.
That's cool to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a space dude,
me too.
That's really.
Well, you're going to be excited for this next segment, man.
Yeah. Then how about this? We go into Avatar, December 2009.
That was a
big thing.
Huge. That was a huge movie. Self-driving electric cars.
I could leave them.
I'm
not a fan.
I can leave or take them. I depending on what I'm doing.
I test drove a car and let it park itself, and I felt completely and utterly
I just love uneasy. I love cars, old school cars, so I need gasoline.
Yeah.
SSRI, that's the depression medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Zoloft,
okay.
Prozac, all that obviously has been increasing in use.
Yeah.
Throughout the past couple decades. Prince and the Queen die.
Yep.
Prince died in 2016.
A lot of people
Queen
died
Elizabeth
in 2016.
died in 2022.
Yeah. Queen Elizabeth, that was a big one, man. That was up there with like Betty White.
Longest reigning queen ever.
Right.
Yep.
And finally, World Trade, second plane. What else more do I have to say?
Yeah.
Right. That I think really is what changed the world. Really
definitely changed America.
Yeah,
it's safe to say the world.
Yeah. So, all right, well, guys, coming up, we are gonna get into Starfield. We're gonna move right on. So, hang in tight. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Right.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hey, you guys like good food, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You like a fun atmosphere?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy live music?
Absolutely.
Depends on the music, but yeah.
Well, if you guys ever get the chance, and I know you will, I think, you should head down to 9th Street Deli at Howard's.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is it down in Soulard?
It is down in Soulard. If you guys are ever in the Soulard in St. Louis area, great food, great place to hang out. They are actually a sponsor of this episode. So,
right on. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. The address is 2732 South 13th Street, St. Louis, Missouri. So definitely go check them out, guys. Lovely people. I know them very well. Like I said, great food and just a fun place, man. Like if you're looking for a place to hang out with your buds, get
a good sandwich.
Good sandwich, man. They got burgers, they got wings, they got all kinds of stuff. And just a wonderful patio. And like I said, live music almost every week. So 9th Street Deli at Howard's.
Sweet.
Check them out.
All right, Rob, I think you're...
Am I up? Yeah, I think I'm up with Starfield. Okay, so here's the reason why I wanted to talk about Starfield, because it just came out like probably 2-3 weeks ago now.
Right.
Bethesda Studios is the studio that produces this game, and it's also produced my all-time favorites video games going back many years. Last game that came out was the big one. The last one that came out with was Fallout 4. And Bethesda Studios is known for these massive open world survival games with all these different interlocking stories and missions, and they just do an amazing job of like in immersing you into like this alternative, or not even like this world that they've basically created, right? So Starfield came out, had a budget of $400 million. Now, I think that includes development and marketing, I think. It took over 500 developers, 7 years. It is the first new intellectual property that Bethesda has produced in the last 25 years. They keep adding on to, so like the main game that I got into when I first had experience with the Bethesda game was Skyrim 5. Okay. And that was on I think it was on the Xbox 360. Okay. And it picked up the story from their other Skyrim games, and which were massive hits in the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay. So then you get into playing. In the last 20 years, I've probably played every Bethesda game that they've made, and it's just they keep getting better and better and better at it. I mean, it's like it's the gold standard of video games. So Starfield has reached over 230,000 concurrent players in the first 2 hours of early access on Steam. Okay, as of right now, they have about 1 million concurrent players. It is the biggest next-gen game ever. Meaning like the Xbox One X. I think that's what I've got, the new ones, the new generations. Here's what's interesting. Bethesda was owned by a ZeniMax studio, and ZeniMax decided to kind of break off, and Bethesda kind of did like development and marketing. Okay. Fast forward a little bit, Bethesda has all these successes with the Skyrim line, the Fallout series, and now Starfield. Back in 2018, let's see here. Anyway, a few years ago, Microsoft bought them. Okay, so this game, as of right now, is only available on Xbox. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me that they are getting really close to having a monopoly issue.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that. Okay.
Because this game is this. It's. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's epic. The graphics on it are just amazing.
It looks phenomenal.
I have to say, I haven't played it, but I was able to watch a little bit of gameplay and then also the trailer. And
the trailer was amazing.
I think what caught my eye and Greg's at the same time was, and I'm sure you guys have figured out that we're based out of St. Louis, and that opening shot of the Gateway Arch, man. It was just, it was kind of like, all right, cool, like I enjoyed that.
Yeah. It's, these works are just so massive, an undertaking that I have a new appreciation for like game development, right? Like seeing what goes into a game like this, because not only at launch was it an amazing game, but it was really glitch free, right? Like it was I haven't had any issues with it.
Nice.
And it's insane. So basically, I don't want to give too much away because the stories in these games are just really good stories. Like I said, it's like almost like a choose your own adventure survival. You have like these different factions that you can join, and then depending on what faction you end up following, you end up impacting the world. That's the way it was with Fallout, right? So what's really nice about Starfield is if you have played Fallout or any Skyrim or any Fallout or any other Bethesda games, the mechanics, the way the game handles, just the different systems that they have, like looting. It's like a dungeon crawler where you can pick up all this random stuff, and that random stuff can be used in weapons mods or armor mods. I mean, it's like you live off the land kind of like survival thing. So if you've played any of those games, you just pick up right where you left off with, like, say, like a Fallout 4 or anything like that. So,
That's so cool.
it's really cool. So you start off as a miner, and you find this artifact in a mine.
Okay.
And when you touch it, it sends you on this weird, like, it gives you, like, this hallucination or this vision of, like, going down a wormhole, and it's, like, real colorful and all this music, and it's like traveling, but like an extraterrestrial kind of way. It's like it's got this like weird,
very sci-fi. It looks a little dystopian.
So humanity has conquered or has colonized space. So this is set in like 230 years from now.
Okay.
Okay, and Earth, as of right now, I can't even land on Earth.
Yeah.
Right. So something's going on with Earth. I think it's all fucked up, and it's like
and you don't even know yet.
Yeah, and I can't land on it.
Okay.
So I can like land on the moon. I can land on Mars. There's a big colony. There's a huge colony on Mars. I was really kind of hoping that they would put in like the Pathfinder and what it was Pathfinder and was it Inspiration?
Yeah.
And Endeavor? No, not Endeavor. I forget the two main ones. Anyway.
Yeah,
I should know this. I follow that. I should know it. I'm drawing a blank.
You're talking about the Mars rovers?
Yeah.
Didn't Curiosity? Was that one?
Curiosity and Opportunity.
Yeah. Well, have you watched? And sorry to derail you, but have you seen the documentary Goodnight Oppie?
I think I have.
About
yes.
Opportunity. Oh man, if you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. So I haven't explored Mars a whole lot, but I would hope that they would have like you could go to the Pathfinder. You know like you should have a legit. With the technology that we have a legit map of Mars.
Right.
So, like, I would expect you to have...
I think Mars is on Google Earth now.
Because
you can switch to the moon. I'm pretty sure Mars is the other option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. And, you know, you have different ailments. It's really interesting, like, before in, like, Fallout 4... if you got bit or poisoned, you would have to like cure yourself of the poison. Fallout 4 was set in a dystopian future where you're living in a nuclear holocaust.
Right.
Humanity is like surviving, and it's been like a few hundred years, 1,000 years almost, and after nuclear fallout or whatever.
Right.
And so you have to like maintain like radiation levels and stuff like that because the environment naturally radiates you.
Right.
In this, not only do you have like radiation, but you have like disease and you have like ailments. Like if you jump in on like a moon or something, you know, you have a boost pack. So if you jump and then you boost up, if you don't boost before you hit the ground, you'll sprain your ankle,
right?
Or you'll break your leg, or you have like burns. Like you have to take care of like there's all these different health situations that you're constantly aware of as a player. And it's taken a survival game to the next level. It's crazy. Yeah. One of the cool things about it though is the graphics and the engine that they use, and which is a proprietary engine called Creation Engine, and it's something I think Bethesda has developed themselves. But there's a viral video going on right now where this guy took 1,000 or something potatoes and dumped it in his cargo hold. Okay,
seen that.
Okay. Have you seen that?
I've seen that. It's actually amazing.
Yeah. So he
for what it is.
Yeah. So he dumps it in this cargo hold, and then he opens the door, and all these potatoes come rolling out. Right. Well, you're talking like thousands and thousands of objects. And the mechanics.
Just the physics.
The physics of it just look totally real.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing. Just potatoes falling through a door when it's open, but it's amazing.
Yeah, because it looks so real. You know, it's like
I gotta look at this.
Yeah. Look it up.
I'll pull it up right now.
Star rim, potatoes and cargo hold. I think will probably get you there.
Potatoes, yeah.
But yeah, just like you know, we haven't seen those kind of physics yet.
Right. And what they're saying is that is what we can start getting used to on these next gen consoles.
Yeah.
Because if they
but that's pretty much the next step.
Yeah.
And to me in video games is we've got the graphics and the visualization.
There's a game out there now.
Cues of it. Like we got it down. We got that. Like the stories are there.
Yep.
You know, like I think it's time we get the physics. Like start working on the true physics.
There's a game out there now, I forget what it's called. I think it's only on PC, but it is extremely difficult to tell that it's not real.
Yeah.
And the only way you can tell is like on certain like camera angles, the way the camera moves because of the player.
Right.
You're like, okay, that didn't look right, but the graphics and everything.
Was it kind of like a darker?
It was a first-person shooter.
Right. I think I know. I think I've seen a video clip. And
it's really difficult to tell.
Right.
Dude, it's so crazy. Honestly, like there's so many things. Like I don't know how much you've looked into like animatronics and things like that, and just like, you know, the visual effects of like what it makes me think of, and I know getting a little off topic, but like these simulator rides at like Universal Studios and Disney World and things like that. They're the most, like, Disney has the most advanced simulators and the most advanced animatronic right now. With the addition of Pandora, the Avatar area, and I've experienced them both, and it's insane.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
See, we should do a special episode. Just go down there and
go to. Hey,
I've never been.
Listen, I am all for a trip down to Florida. Okay,
it's been a while since I've been to like a Universal Studios or something like that. So
Amy and I are planning a trip next year.
That'd be cool. I've never been.
So I mean.
I need to check out Springfield, so
maybe we'll talk about that.
So, moving on, I'd like to give some shout outs to some of the lesser known heroes that come into game development with these games. You know, we talked a lot about Bethesda Studios, but you know, this game couldn't have been possible without like the hundreds and hundreds of voice actors and and even the director, who I found out it's Todd Howard, and he has done the vast majority of Bethesda games, so he directed it. And then it was designed by, let me see what I have. Designed by Emil Pagliario out of Salem State. He designed Thief 2, Elder Scrolls 3, 4, and 5, Fallout 3 and 4, Fallout Shelter, Fallout 76, and Starfield. So they're like a really well-known designer that they were comfortable with, right?
Right.
And then Todd Howard, who has been on with Bethesda Game Studio since like the 2000s, I think.
Okay.
Here's what's impressive about this guy. He was awarded the Laura of Honor, a Lifetime Achievement Award from Germany in 2013. He was listed as the 70th ranking top ranking. He came in 70th in the top 100 game creators of all time.
Wow.
Okay, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences in 2017. And then, I mean, he just has an insane amount of like credentials. And then you move on to the music composers, and the music, Greg, in these games are just unreal.
Yeah.
Because from a creative standpoint, you could be spending hours out. Like right now, I'm spending like hours just walking around a desolate planet looking for minerals or something, and all of a sudden, a little bit of music kind of fades in and just kind of sets a tone, and you know, and the way he composed the music was, it's relaxing, and it's not repetitive, you know, which is something you would think would.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you encounter that a lot in video games.
Mm-hmm.
The repetitive score.
Repetitive. All same thing over. And it's just really just all of his music in these video games is I love it. It's really cool.
Right.
Now I looked up the voice actors that are involved in this, and there was probably over 100 of them. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a name off like the top few, but Sumali Montano, Damian Haas, and Barry Wiggins, Jake Green, Emily O'Brien, Ali Ward Azevedo, Dana Gurrier, Casey Jones, Armin Shimmerman, and Carlos Valdez. There's just to name a few of the people that were involved in this.
Some of those names, a lot of them do like voiceover in video games, right?
Yes,
and they're
the vast majority of them are. Yeah, like and I did some background, because God, there's so many of them. I did like the top 5.
Yeah,
and yeah, that's Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason why I bring it up because I've done a little bit of voice acting and like video game creation, and you know, if you don't have a really good voice actor, the game is crap. Right. No matter how well you've put this thing together and how well it looks, like if it comes off as unauthentic or something, it's gonna be crap. It's gonna be shit.
Speaking of that, you guys remember the video game Blasto from PlayStation? Blasto.
That sounds so familiar.
Featured Phil Hartman.
Oh wow.
As the main character.
I love Phil Hartman.
It was just you're just out in space and
oh my god, I just looked it up. I do remember this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was like mid-90s. I want to say it was definitely PlayStation because it was like a 3D. Yeah. PlayStation 1, Blasto. Phil Hartman.
Love Phil Hartman.
You got
vaguely
Rest in
remember
peace. Yeah, Phil Hartman voiced Captain Blasto, an extremely muscular, alien-fighting, dim-witted captain.
Yeah.
So
So
I want to say it was kind of risque too. The things that they would say.
oh, so
like,
it was
but-
kind of like a God, what's that?
Earthworm Jim?
Kind of like
Oh,
Earthworm
great.
Jim.
Love
There was
that.
another one. What was the other one? The girl had the boobs. It was like forget the guy's name, but it was kind of like
Duke Nukem?
no, it was
Leisure
like,
Suit Larry.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Leisure Suit Larry,
Yeah, that was
Thank
like
you.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't. The other thing that popped in my head was Toe Jam and Earl.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry was like that was the game you could not get as a kid.
Oh no.
You'd be
Yeah.
like fuck no, you ain't. Are you crazy? Yeah. But yeah, Starfield, man. I mean, dude, it's doing a really. I love it. It's. in Fallout 4, they came out with a game mechanic where you can kind of build your own shelters and you can kind of build your own like colonies. So you can start like settlements, and you attract people and you build up like these societies and like little cities and stuff. So they've taken that and turned it on its head and done it with like ships and settlements. So you can go to just about any planet and start up a settlement, and then you can build your ship any way you want it. And like it's just insane.
That's so cool.
I mean,
crazy,
I have to
dude.
say, from what I saw, I'm not surprised you talked about how many people worked on this and for how many years and how much went into this, because it just, I mean, dude, this is one of those things. I'm not much of a gamer. I'll put that out there. And it's one of those games I could actually watch somebody else,
Right.
go through the
Oh,
gameplay.
definitely.
And it's probably only the second thing that has made me want to buy an Xbox.
I mean,
don't-
these huge open world games are just almost anything can happen in them. So like, I played Red Dead back a couple years ago, which was by Rockstar, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm chasing the legendary white buffalo, and it's up in the mountains and everything, right?
Yeah.
And when you shoot it, you get like the special hide, and you get like you get an achievement, or maybe not an achievement, but you get these special items for killing this particular buffalo. Okay, so I shot the fucking thing, and it didn't die. I never was able to shoot a legendary animal with one shot. It took multiple shots. Okay, so it died and it took off running on me.
Right.
Well, it died in a lake, and I couldn't dive down to go get this fucking thing. And I'm like, oh my, like I had to like reset. I was like, son of a bitch. And Tori's like, what's going on? I'm like, the white buffalo drowned in a fucking lake, and now I can't like harvest it. You know? So what I'm getting, there was one time I'm like aiming at a freaking deer off in the distance because I had like a 3-star pelt, and as I'm aiming, my horse walks right in front of me as I shoot, and I shot the fucking horse in the head and killed it.
No way.
I mean, just random shit like that would just fucking happen. Right?
Yeah.
So
I simultaneously hate and love when shit like that happens.
Yeah.
dude, I couldn't help but laugh.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But to your point, you never know what's going to happen
Yeah,
with these,
some of
with these
those-
open world.
Some of these huge open world games, and then the interaction with the AI and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so I had to do it because it was so relevant, and these are the kind of games that have huge impacts on culture and on society, because there's a lot of underlying like issues with society that you see in a lot of these games, right? So these video games are often overlooked as like, you know, they're not in the same realm as music or in the same realm as movies, is like art appreciation.
Yeah.
Right. But when you take a step back and you see all of the, I mean, video games take all of it, all of the arts. Like video games take the accumulation of all we know about art and combine it into like one media in a sense, because you have the voice actors, you have the composers, you have the directors, you have the developers, right?
Right.
Yep.
The audience's role is virtually the same, except you're experiencing it versus viewing a movie or listening to music. You know,
you're actually playing it out.
Yeah, you're actually
yourself.
part of it, and that's where Bethesda comes in. Is like they do such a good job in enveloping you in their world. It's just like.
Right.
And I went back and played Skyrim, which it came out in like less than 2010.
Yeah.
And it still looks amazing. Now, probably I've got like a revamped version of it, but it's still, the graphics are just crazy beautiful. And that's what's crazy about, you know, these like planets and stuff. It's like, yeah, they're desolate, but it's just so well done. The graphics are just
Right.
Yeah. So. All right. So, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for season 2, episode 1.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing journey. We're glad to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to welcome Greg aboard, man.
Welcome, Greg. Yeah.
I had a blast.
Good, man.
This was
glad
fun.
you did. Yeah, we're going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
So
we're
going
got some fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We do a lot.
So look out. Honestly, like our goal here is at the end of the day, I mean, we're entertaining ourselves, but hopefully we're entertaining you guys too, and we just want to keep growing this thing the best we can.
Right.
And the best way to do that is honestly just word of mouth. Tell your friends, you know, and you know, and we're on any platform really where you listen to podcasts.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we are now. Yeah. So check us out on
if you like
Spotify,
an episode,
iTunes,
share it.
Yeah.
Amazon. A bunch of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So we're gonna end the show. I got a little spiff I need to get off my chest, and you know, at the end of the day, I think it's good to talk about some of this stuff, get it off the chest. So what really throttles my crankshaft is women's sports. Okay?
Okay.
Women give birth to human beings. Women are expected to help raise families, and women are all these beauty standards are put on them and everything. Yet women's sports exist.
Yeah.
And it really fucking pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, think about it. You ever hear of a woman playing baseball? No.
Softball.
Why can't they fucking play baseball?
Right.
Why does they got to be different rules? Why does it got to be a bigger ball? Why do they got to pitch underhand versus overhand? Mm-hmm. Why can't they just play fucking regular baseball?
Right.
Women's NBA. I'm not a huge basketball fan or anything like that, but the balls are fucking smaller.
Yeah.
I was talking to Tori about it. She's like, well, maybe they got smaller hands. Dude, have you seen some of them 7-foot women? Okay, they got bigger hands than I fucking do. Okay, so no, I don't believe that shit.
No,
That's what irks me. Okay, now I'm not against. I'm against violence against women, but let's take MMA for example. Okay, you get a MMA fighter who is a woman and she's comparable in weight and size to a man. Should those two not be able to go in and fucking duke it out?
I think they should.
Yeah.
If she knows
they're
what she's
both
getting
willing,
into.
yeah.
If she's willing, and she's like, I'm gonna knock this dude out.
Right.
And I'm
And
not
if
saying,
she does, more power to her. Hell yeah.
should-
why is there such why I believe in equality for everybody. Why do women get to play different versions of fucking sports? They can't be trusted to hit a fucking smaller baseball?
Yeah.
And that's what really throttles my crank.
You know what's funny is on my phone I got this little baseball game, Baseball 9 I think it's called, whatever, but it's co-ed. And you can get dude and female players or whatever. Well, I got a female pitcher, and she's kicking ass. She's kicking ass.
Well, and to your point, Rob, you know, given MMA for example, what you're getting at basically is it should be just based on weight class.
Well, in the MMA part, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
sure.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
And-
you don't
and
want
so-
Brock Lesnar going up against.
but that's what I'm saying. If you're talking about someone who's of a comparable size, what does it matter what their gender or sexuality is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and why do we distinct? Like, why aren't the sports like co-ed?
Yeah.
Right.
I think they're.
You know that's how miniature golf got started?
Because women couldn't be allowed to play or trusted to play golf, so they were like, "Here, women, play this."
They weren't allowed on the actual golf courses.
Get the
So
fuck outta
they
here.
set up
Oh,
miniature golf so they could
You
play
see
golf.
what I'm saying? And then people got problem with the fucking Barbie movie.
And I'd rather play miniature golf than regular golf.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay, I will give you that. I don't understand golf. I'm just not into
golf
it.
is not a sport. Golf is a game.
Yeah, and if you say
I'm
to
not
me,
good at
Pong
it.
is a game.
I mean, listen, if you said to me right now, "Hey, you guys want to wrap this up and go play some golf?" I'd be like, "Absolutely
I'm in
not."
the same
Yeah.
boat, dude.
If
I'm
you
like,
said to me right now, "Hey, you want to wrap this up and go play some mini golf?"
Hell yeah.
I might be down. Yeah,
I'll be in the
down.
car.
I'll order me some nachos and I'll be there.
Right.
But that's what I just thinking about it, like, so yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for our first season of first episode of season 2. Stay tuned for more. We've got some more exciting episodes coming up, and big shout out to our sponsor once again. Matt was
9th Street
9th
Deli
Street
at
Deli.
Howard's.
All right.
Yep.
See you guys on the next
Pop
one.
in,
Whoop,
get
whoop.
some food.